Good morning, good morning. What is cracking? YouTube, Facebook, social media, Twitter, Instagram, everybody in between. It's your boy K Shines, baby. In Philly, look at that snow. Look at that snow in Philly. It's gone. The sun is coming out. We're getting on a flight. We're getting out of here. That's right. We're in Philly and we're about to head home to Hot Atlanta. But before we do that, we are going to go meet up with the one, the true, the only, Demi Lovato. I'm opening for Demi Lovato today. It's an honor. It's a privilege. It's a gift. I'm grateful. Ran into one of her great producer friends yesterday at Starbucks and reminded him of our connection to the great Mike Bayer. And they were like, hey, why don't you come on by and say a few words? So that's what I'm going to do at the concert, Demi Lovato style. Boy, does she have some chops on her. That girl can sing, you know? It's all good. I'm having a good day. I'm in a lot of pain. But pain is temporary. Pain is inevitable. Pain can't kill you. Suffering is optional. I will never suffer again. Smiling through the pain, baby. Smiling through the pain.
Patty's gonna cry a little. She's gonna be like, oh my gosh, it's Kevin! We do suicide prevention trainings together, and as a mom, she's just amazing. But it's so amazing to hear her tell. We play one of the Kevin's short movies.
Yeah.
And all this, and I was supposed to come to see you at North Penn High School.
Yeah. No, this is ridiculous. This is hilarious.
I'm gonna take a picture of you taking the film.
All right, so let's it's recording.
Okay.
So come over here, you guys. Come here, Nami. There we go. Hi.
Hi.
Who's on the phone?
We're gonna. I think we should. I don't know if we can FaceTime Patty Dilly. Patty Dilly.
We need to try.
Right? I think we should.
Wait, look up though for a second.
Let me do it on my phone.
Okay, good.
Let me call on my phone.
Okay.
Give me her phone number. Oh, let's see.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna die.
Yeah. All right, so
I have to find her.
I'm searching now. Here we go. I'm gonna have her number. Mark it.
Light is really bright behind
I
you.
want the light for the lens flare.
Okay.
Okay. Don't worry, it's a tag. Right there. All right. All right. So give me. All right, guys, check it out. We're about to call Patty Dilly. All right, old friend of mine, friend of everyone here, and apparently she has some kind of story about Bradley Cooper. I don't know. We'll talk about it later. Stay tuned. Okay, stay watching. Focus right here. Okay. All right. What's Patty's number?
Patty.
What's the number?
You're gonna call her?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoops. All right. 215.
215.
Looks good.
FaceTime pops up, we'll do it.
I don't know if she has an iPhone or if it's an Android.
We'll figure it out.
Fingers crossed, Patty Dilly.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
I have another phone number for her.
We'll figure it out. Hi, Patty. Is this Patty?
Patty, it's Abby from NAMI. How are you? From NAMI. How are you? Great. So we get to be here tonight at the Demi Lovato concert with her cast on tour, and we came into the cast on tour.
And Bradley Cooper's here.
You're never gonna believe who I got to hug and stand with and talk to. He's right here with me. We called you.
Bradley Cooper is right here. Let me get him on the phone. Hold on. Hello, this is Bradley Cooper. Hello. 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 How are you?
I am fine. I am so excited to see you. You know you're coming in May.
No, she knows who it is.
Patty, I'm going to put you on video, okay? Hold on.
Can we get her on
How'd she
video?
know? Yeah, we can get it. Can we get you on FaceTime video?
No, I'm in the middle of a dual thin crust pizza.
Oh!
That sounds so delicious.
Let's go right now.
I think we should.
Let's make it happen. I'm hungry.
It is, because I should definitely go.
Patty, how are you? I'm glad you're fine. It's wonderful. It's good. Yeah, it's Kevin. It's not Bradley Cooper. Sorry.
It's your Bradley Cooper, though.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm having a lot of health troubles, Patty, but it's all good. I got this. Oh, Patty, we've met 4 times. We can talk in you can call me whenever you want to, Patty. Well, I hope to see you soon, okay? I hope to see you soon. I'll see you May 22nd. Big hug. I want a 23-second hug from you, Patty. Here's why. 23 seconds of a hug releases oxytocin in the brain that makes you feel better.
And that makes people feel connected. And it gets people
23. We did it.
Hello, is this on? This one's on. What is up, guys? Welcome to Cast on Tour in Philly. Literally my favorite place on the planet Earth. I swear to God. I live in LA, but my dad was from Philly, and my whole life all I've cared about are the Flyers, the Sixers, the Eagles, the Philadelphia Soul, the Philadelphia Union, the Philadelphia Wings. That's the minor league hockey team. Like, I have serious issues. I've had 6 cheesesteaks in 2 days. I'm going to gyms later tonight, so I'm very excited. But really stoked to be here and to have you guys in this room. We have an amazing speaker tonight. Incredible story how him and I ran into each other yesterday that I'll tell you about in a little bit. Before we get started, who's been to Cast before? I know there's some familiar faces. What's your name? Renee? Where did you see Cast on tour before?
Camden.
And what was the experience like for you?
It was amazing. The guy that spoke was really touching for me.
All right, who else? Who else? Yes, your name?
Jessica.
Jessica, why are you laughing? You're like...
You spoke.
And I spoke. Did you get anything out of that or nothing at all?
I really like the term skinny fat. So,
Skinny fat. I am very skinny fat. I'm very untoned. I realized probably 4 years ago that I would just get by on personality and not abs, and I'm still single because of it. That's okay. So what else?
also just being yourself, staying true to yourself. I really like that.
I appreciate it very much. Yeah, that's an important lesson that I talk about a lot. That in life, I've found my own success and things have happened for me because at a certain point in my life, I learned to be okay with being myself. I realized there was nothing I could do to change. I was never going to be 6'5" and play for the Phillies. I learned to be happy with myself, and the day I made that decision, which for me was when I was pretty young actually. I was lucky. I kind of turned that corner probably like in 11th grade. I was about 5'1", and all the girls were like, "You're gonna be cute one day," and I was like, "What about now?" And they were like, "Nah, not so much." So I had to learn to kind of be cool with myself, and once that happened, like incredible things happened for me, and my life really took off. So I'm glad that you got something out of it besides the skinny fat thing. Right, who else? Yep, I see one of our very familiar faces. You guys might recognize her too.
Oh, God.
Your name is?
Casey.
What's up, buddy? Yeah. So stand up. And you smell good, by the way. What is that?
Hypnotic Poison by Dior.
Hypnotic Poison by Dior. All right.
I should sponsor.
So tell me about your experiences, because you've attended quite a few of these. So what have they been like for you?
It's super interesting hearing so many different stories. Like, we heard John Taylor talk about creativity, we heard you speak, I heard Demi speak, Nick Jonas. So excited to hear Kevin Hines speak, because I know a little bit about his story. But I think every show you leave here with like a fresh mind, learning something new. And I have nothing but positive things to say about Cast on Tour, and I hope everybody can agree with me on that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. What's your name one more time? Julia?
Yeah.
Let's give it up for Julia.
Yeah.
And your name? Jessica. Let's give it up for Jessica. So Julia, you're a big winner today. How do you think that happened? Like, what do you think you put out in the universe that made you win?
I'm fabulous.
Nice.
Yes.
Good answer.
You're a champion.
I can't even say anything to that. How about you? What'd you eat for breakfast this morning that brought you to this point right now?
I don't remember.
All right, well, how do you think you put it? You work with babies? So maybe some baby food or something like that? All right, let's give it up. Congratulations, guys. All right, now, did everyone take photos before? And did you guys, on Instagram, everyone asked me, my judges over here were like, is it Instagram or Twitter? It's Instagram, right? And did you put at Cast on Tour and Cast on Tour, all that good stuff? All right, so now we're going to announce 2 winners at random. Where's Trevor? Is Trevor in the building still? Did he leave? Lauren, you're going to have to do it this time, Lauren. Uh-oh, a lot of pressure. These are signed Demi posters that some of you might have gotten at the meet and greet, but we're going to have 2 of those that we're giving away. The reason we want you guys to take pictures is that Cast, we want to create a safe environment. So that's the last photo that you can take for about the next 45 minutes. And they want to create something really cool for people to go attend before Demi's tours. So they started Cast on Tour. We do it in every city. We talk about it all the time, and that's what's so incredible about Demi, is that she is a person that has made herself completely vulnerable to her fans, and that's why her fans love her as much as they do, because she's open and she's honest about all the stuff that happens to her. And she'll talk about some of that on stage tonight, but I think that's why a lot of people relate to her, and she kind of makes it cool to talk about, you know, what's going on in your life, what problems you might be having, and she makes people understand that it's not a bad thing to reach out for help. So that's what this is all about, and we really hope that you guys get something out of it. Our speaker today is a really incredible gentleman. It's incredible how he got here today. I was actually on Broad and Pine. I went to a place to get a hot shave downtown. That's downtown, right, Nate? And I was on the phone with my cousin Nate, and I was talking to someone from the Philadelphia Eagles about possibly coming to speak, but he couldn't make his flight and couldn't get here in time. You can let them in. They look like they're about to cry. Let them in.
I just want to see the tears first.
No, no tears. Come on.
Yeah, should I let them in?
Yes, let's give it up for them showing up late. Good job, guys. Good job. I'm proud of you. So anyways, I'm on Broad and Pine, and I'm on the phone trying to talk to, it was actually Brian Westbrook that used to play for the Eagles. And Brian couldn't make his flight, so we're talking about it, and I'm like, okay, no problem. And it was cold outside. I was waiting for my cousin to pick me up, so I went into a Starbucks right there on the corner. And I hung up the phone, and our speaker came up to me and he said, hey man, you look really familiar. Do I know you? And I said, maybe, like I'm on TMZ with Jamie Foxx a lot. And he goes, what's your name? And I go, Dave Ossico. And he goes, oh wow, yeah. He goes, I do know you. And he's like, you work with Demi Lovato? And I said, yeah. And I said, we're actually in Philly. We got a show tomorrow night. And this was completely random. Like, this is the way that the world works in mysterious ways. I said, we got a show tomorrow night, and I work with her on this project called Cast on Tour. And he goes, I actually spoke at Cast on Tour about a year ago. And I said, no way. And he goes, yeah, my name's Kevin Hines. And I'm like, this is incredible, because I was sitting there, I just found out that Brian could make his flight, and I was gonna scramble to find a speaker, and this guy just magically appears. So he was definitely meant to be here for a reason, and I'm gonna introduce him right now. Let's give it up for Kevin Hines. Oh, I get it. You can sit here.
Hi. What's cracking? It is good to see all of you. You're beautiful people. So clap for yourselves and how beautiful you are. Yeah. And I'll tell you why. Because in these 1,000 lives in 36 years, I've lost 6 people that I love dearly to death by suicide from pain. People that meant the absolute world to me. They were my heroes, they were my mentors, they were my family, they were my friends. And they're gone forever, and I miss them terribly every day. But I do not revel in the death. I do not think about the way they died or the day they died. I don't blame myself or anybody around me. I don't have guilt. I used to have all of that stuff for 6 people that I love dearly, but I don't have it anymore. Today, I celebrate their birthday, not their death anniversary, right? With candles and cake and cupcakes. Gluten-free cupcakes, yeah, right? I celebrate their lives and the beauty that they were and will always be right here and right here. I never think about the way they died anymore. I think about the last time I saw them smile and what that made me feel like inside. I think about the last time they gave me a warm embrace, and I remember that embrace, and I hold on to that embrace, and it saves my life every day. I have chronic suicidal thoughts. I jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge, but I'm right here looking at you. I'm right here looking at you because life is the greatest gift that any of us have ever or will ever be given, period, next to faith. If you don't have faith in God, that's fine. Have faith in yourselves. Have faith in your beauty. Have faith in your worth and your value and your love and your light and the beauty behind your eyes. And have faith that suicide is never, should never, and can never be the answer to our problems. The answer to our problems, it's not in that phone right there. Hey phone, you're wasting all of our times. It's not in the phone. The answer to our problems is sitting down next to people we get to meet and get the privilege to get to know, get the privilege to say hello to and say thank you to.
Thank you.
The privilege and the best thing about this life, the best thing you can possibly do in this life is hand to hand, eye to eye, physical communication. Put the phones away, guys. Stop hating on people online. I'm not saying you are. You guys don't do that. Put the phones away. Stop hating on people online that you don't know or you know barely. Look at people in the eye when they talk to you and tell them how beautiful they are every day. And if you're in pain right now, if you're in pain and you're suffering right now, I want you to hear something, all right? I just was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. Anybody know what that is? There's a lot of different kinds, right? All right. I was just diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. I have photosensitivity to the sun because of the medication I take. And one of my medications is poisoning me. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here. I didn't dock the Golden Gate Bridge, and this sure as heck ain't going to kill me. I got work to do. All right, you guys. So I jumped off a bridge. That's not a big deal. That's what people focus on. Let's focus on the light and the beauty behind the recovery. I worked tirelessly for my recovery from mental pain. I've been in pain my whole life. Born in severe poverty on 6th Street in San Francisco in a crack motel. Born to birth parents who had mental illness, but they had drug addiction, substance use disorder. They would leave me and my infant brother unattended to go do score and sell drugs every day. They had to do whatever they had to do to pay that hotel bill by the hour on the hour. That was the beginning of my life. First 9 months, fed Kool-Aid, Coca-Cola, and sour milk, what they could steal. That's how I came into the world, humbly. Now I'm looking at all of you beautiful faces, and I'm begging you from my gut, whatever pain you're in today, we're in yesterday or we'll be in tomorrow, never again silence that pain. Your pain is valid. Your pain matters because you do. You matter, all of you. And I love you and I'm grateful for you. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I'm going to be here fighting for mental well-being for everybody, including myself. I'm going to be here, there, and everywhere else. I carry a coin with me every day of my life. It was given to me by a commander of the United States military. You see that coin? It's the largest one I have. They gave me 40 of these coins as a civilian, all right? Here I am. Send me. You understand what that means? Here I am. Send me. This is the motto I live by every day. If you need me, here I am. Send me and I'll be there and I'll give you my all. I'll give you everything I got. I'm going to end like this. This life, you heard me say it before, is the greatest gift we have ever or will ever be given. None of us are promised tomorrow, not even the rest of today. So hell no, suicide isn't going to take me, no matter how often I think about it. Paranoid delusions aren't going to take me, no matter how often I have them. Psychosis, depression, mania is not going to ruin my life. It's not going to stop me. Chronic exercise-induced asthma won't stop me from getting in the gym every day and doing an hour as hard as I can in an asthma attack like a boss. I just lost 45 pounds in the last 7 months. Right? I'm hustling hard. So, we're going to end right here, and then we're going to do something together that is crucial for all of us, okay? Life is what? And it's the greatest gift we've ever been given. You were close. Life is what? Beautiful. And it's the greatest gift we've ever been given. Or will ever have. known to mankind, womankind, or humankind. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday is history. Tomorrow, it's a mystery. Today is a gift. Today is our gift. That is why we call it the present. And if y'all don't believe me, Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda said that. All right? That talking turtle knows what he's talking about. That talking turtle knows what's cracking. All right? All right, now, do me a favor. If you are in this room and you're physically capable, please stand right now. All right. You're physically capable, please stand. If you're not, it's okay. You sit there and you be cool. All right. On the count of 3, in unison, we are going to say something to the ceiling because we don't want to pierce each other's eardrums. Turn to the ceiling on the count of 3. And we're going to yell at the tops of our lungs so that the people in that lobby can hear us. They're not just going to hear mumbling words. They're going to hear exactly what we said. On the count of 3, in front of the world, be here tomorrow. You see the shirt, right? Be here tomorrow on the count of 3. You see this sea lion right here? This sea lion came to my aid in the water under the Golden Gate Bridge and kept me afloat until the Coast Guard boat arrived behind me. It kept me alive. I call that a miracle. You call that a miracle? On the count of 3. That's okay. On the count of 3. Be here tomorrow. Follow my lead. 1. 2. Okay, hold on. Hold on. All right. On my count, okay? All right, here we go. 1. Here tomorrow. 1, 2, 3. Be here tomorrow. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Be here tomorrow. One last time, as loud as you can. 1, 2, 3. Be here tomorrow. I did that in front of Marines, 10,000 Marines. They weren't as loud as you. All right? All right, last thing. Turn to the person next to you. I don't care if you know them or you don't. Give them the biggest hug you possibly can. And it better be for 23 seconds. 28. Listen. Hold on, listen, guys. 23-second hugs. Guys, listen. Listen, 23-second hugs. Listen, 23-second hugs. Release oxytocin in the brain that make you feel better. Get some 23-second hugs on right now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
3, 4, 5.
Thank you. There we go. You guys, okay, sit down. You work too hard. You guys, thank you so much for hearing my voice. But you know what, right now? I want to be quiet because I want to hear yours. All right.
What's your name and what is your question?
My name is Kate, and I'm wondering if there's something you do every morning, or like you have a morning routine, something you do to get started in your days.
I do, yeah. Every day.
You need a mic. Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second.
Okay, thank you. Every day I wake up and I do the exact same thing. I wake up. If she's right next to me, I kiss my wife. If she's 3,000 miles away, which is usually the case because we're always traveling, I call her. She always answers. I tell her I love her. She tells me she loves me. I say I got you. She repeats the same. We hang up the phone. I get downstairs. I eat a light meal of oatmeal, steel cut, no sugar. And she wants to know my routine. Let's do it. Oatmeal, no sugar, okay? No fruit, all right? I look at my morning emails. I utilize a thing called a blue wave light box every morning in front of my computer when I'm doing emails. Blue wave light box shines light through your eyes to your retina to the back of your brain, helps people with seasonal affective disorder, bipolar disorder, and depression. You can't use it too much, it will make you manic. I learned that the hard way. You get it prescribed by a doctor, that's how you use it. It's being used by California Channel Island universities all over California. That's how I start my morning. Then I hit the gym. Whatever gym is available. If there's no gym available, I hate gyms. You don't need a gym. You need the floor and your arms and your legs. If you're not capable of physically moving, then you need to move your eyes. Move anything you can move, because it's still exercise. Then I educate my brain about the latest findings in the morning on bipolar disorder, because I have it, so that I can go out and fight it to the best of my ability every day. All right, so education, exercise, eating healthily. That's my morning routine. Then I use coping strategies, and I sit down for about an hour and a half, and I listen to nothing else than Demi Lovato. Because damn, that girl can sing. That girl can sing. Yeah. And her songs are beautiful. And they evoke emotion. And they're powerful. And they give you like a whole heart when you step off that song like, oh my God, I am whole again, even though I was broken so many times. That's how she rolls. She's got that on lockdown. Anyway, enough about Demi Lovato. You know about her. That's my morning routine. From there, usually I end up getting some work done, going to a speech and talking, and then from there I go back to the gym or back to the ground. I work out some more. I work out 3 to 6 times a day because it's the only thing. It's 13-minute speech workouts or 23 minutes because it's the only thing that stops the physical pain I'm in 24/7 because of these diseases that I have. And that's okay. You know why that's okay? Because I get to be here right now, looking at you. I get to shake your hand. And that almost didn't happen if it wasn't for that man right there. All right? That's my routine. I hope it helps. All right. Who else? Yes.
You can stand. You can say your name.
Hi.
I'm Andrea
Hi.
Orana. I think of Frozen. My question is, were you married to your wife before you thought about jumping? And if afterwards, how did she help you overcome it?
Oh, Margaret Hines. In my third psych ward stay of 7 and 11 years till 2011, in my third psych ward stay, I was there for 2 months. None of my family would take me back. I needed to go live in a halfway home for the mentally ill, living off of $3 a day because they took the rest of your money, Social Security. In that psych ward, a young man comes in on a gurney one day. He's 19, catatonic, methamphetamines. He can't move and he can't talk. He can't move and he can't talk. He wants to, but he can't. All right? Special man, special young man. 15 to 22 individuals every single day during visiting hours would come to see this young man. Every single day without fail. Nobody comes to see you in a psych ward. I had a select few people that came. The people I asked to come and wanted to come as well didn't come. All right? You know who showed up one day? Margaret Hines showed up one day looking for her cousin, that kid. And she showed up and she comes to me and she taps me on my left shoulder. Now I made them give me a job at the psych ward when I was feeling better, which is illegal. I'm not telling you the name of the psych ward. She taps me on my left shoulder, wearing a pink polo shirt, khaki collar shorts, and sandals from the giveaway clothes closet. They were free out of the box. I turn around there I turn around. I looked into her beautiful eyes, her almond brown, sexy, beautiful eyes, and I said to myself in my head, I'm gonna marry her. I quickly said to myself, yo, Kevin, don't tell her that yet. She says to me in front of the entire nurses station, excuse me, do you work here? I said, as a matter of fact, miss, and I looked at all the nurses staff, and all those fools were like, what is this little turd gonna say? I looked at all of them, and I said, as a matter of fact, miss, I'm a volunteer. They couldn't do anything about that, I worked too hard. And she said, I'm looking for my cousin, his name is. I said, madam, right this way. Who do you know still says madam? I do. I put my hand on the small of her back and her elbow, and I glided her there. Yeah. Which I now know, ladies, according to my wife, is just very, very creepy. I get her to the room. The kid sees me. He hates me. I talk too much. I had talked his ear off trying to get him to talk. I talked to him so much, he couldn't move or talk. Finally, I'm getting telling him story after story. He goes like this. Jeez, man. You talk too much. Leave me alone. People were clapping in the background. I mean, if I'm honest, it was the woman who was always clapping, but she meant it. I show Margaret to the room. The kid sees me. I duck into the hallway. The kid says, you know that guy? She says, your nursing staff is so nice. And he yells, that guy? That guy is a nutball. That guy jumps off bridges. Don't talk to that guy. So I ran in there and I said, excuse me, it was one bridge. Plural, that's ridiculous. She says to me, why'd you lie to me? I said, Margaret, I didn't lie to you. I am a volunteer. Just happen to also live here. I get out of the hospital, go to the halfway home. 30 days probationary period, right? 30 days probationary period. You follow the rules to a T, they kick you out of the halfway home. I follow the rules. I get my 30th day off. Friday, it's a weekend. I get the whole weekend off. I'm getting to the point here, I promise. I get the weekend off. I called Margaret. I stole her number from her cousin's phone. Now, I had asked her out in the hospital. It didn't go so well. One day she comes to the hospital. She said, Margaret, when I get out of here, I got to take you to coffee. She goes, oh, honey, hell no. But I'm a persistent person, and persistence is the key to anything, and routine. And so I called her on my day off. I said, hey, Margaret, it's Kevin. And she goes, what? I said, it's Kevin. She goes, Kevin who? I said, Kevin Hines. She said, uh-huh. I said, oh, God, from the psych ward? She goes, oh, hi, Kevin. I said, Margaret, it's Friday. Can I take you to dinner? She goes, yeah, Kev, I don't. I said, Margaret, listen, I need this. I just need one date. If you don't want to go out with me after one date, I'll leave you alone for the rest of your life. But you give me a chance. And she goes, okay, very excited. She was so thrilled. And I wasn't desperate at all. I show up at her apartment. My problem was I showed up at her apartment with a giant ski duffel bag of lots of my things. Yeah, don't judge yet. Hold on. I showed up with a giant ski duffel bag of lots of my things. With a massive duffel bag, ski duffel bag. She looks at me. She looks at the bag. She goes, what is that? I said, Margaret, it's a funny story. When you leave the halfway home on a Friday, it's Friday, and you go out past 9 p.m. Reservations are at 9. Here's the thing. You kind of can't come home until Monday. And she goes, oh, hell no. And I said, Margaret, I'll take this bag, lay on it as a pillow on those stairs with no blanket after dinner, but we got to go on this date. I came all this way, and this hill was big. She goes, okay, fine. We go to the restaurant, Cafe Sport, Italian restaurant, old mob hangout, tiny chairs, tiny restaurant. Everybody's right next to you. And you don't order at Cafe Sport in San Francisco. They look at you, they judge you, and they order for you. You cannot have allergies. I have lots of allergies. They get her an eggplant parmesan deal. They put on my side of the table a giant bed of spaghetti, a mountain of marinara sauce, a huge uncracked lobster, a votive with a candle and boiling butter, and an oddly cut lemon wedge, like on purpose, right? And I'm freaking out. I'm wearing a white shirt, and I'm in trouble. I take the cracker, I go for the tail. Crack, marinara sauce all over. My wife turned out as big as this sea lion, right? No drop you could get out with water. She knew in 5 minutes of eating I was a slob. I said, oh my God, what do I do now? What do I do now? My brain said this. Kevin, do something classy now. So I took the lemon wedge. I looked in Margaret's eyes. I freaked out. I started to shake. I look at my hand with the lemon. Margaret, the lobster, and I go like that. As fast and as hard as I can. I squeezed that lemon harder than anyone has ever squeezed in a lemon in their life. And I watched this stream of lemon juice flew directly in to her left eye. It just kept going. Mascara's running down her face, right? Her makeup is running. She screamed. The lady next to us decides to get involved. Nick, are you okay? She's fine. It's a date. It's going really south right now, and you're not helping. And then I said, Margaret, I'm so sorry. My brain said, Kevin, do something classier. Immediately, I took the same shaky hand, and I went for the plate of boiling butter. Oh, yeah, it gets worse. I tipped the plate. 2 drops of boiling butter fly between her blouse onto her chest. They burn her. She screams. The whole restaurant stops. It's a small restaurant. This lady decides to get back in the game. Meth, are you okay? Do I need to call someone? Can I do anything for you? Hey, listen, lady. Who are you going to call? Like the Ghostbusters of dating? Can you leave me alone? And that's when I grabbed my napkin, because I'm a gentleman. I reached over and I started doing this on the first date. Right here. And she goes, what are you doing? I said, Margaret, I have no idea what I'm doing. And she said the only 2 words in a first date you never want to hear when you only just started eating for 5 minutes. Check, please. It's over. We're not going to get married. We're not going to have the 6 kids, I imagine. We're not going to have the dog named Max. He was a sharp babe. Little wrinkles, just like my dad. She walks a mile in front of me to get back to the apartment. She sees the bag, she turns around and she says, Kevin, we're going to the roof. Are you going to throw me off, I said? She said, no. We go up this rickety old 1920s elevator, we go to the roof, 2 yoga mats and a garden. I said, we doing nighttime yoga gardening because I don't know what the hell that's about. She said, no, Kevin, no, lay down. I laid down. Awkward silence. She turned to me. I turned to her. I said, Margaret, what are we doing here? She said, Kevin, if all we do right now is stare at that full moon, ain't nothing else can go wrong. Winning! Yeah! Champion dating! My wife met me in a psych ward. She knew everything about me before I knew anything about her. That's the answer to your question. She is a gift from the heavens above, and she gave me new life. And you know what? I'm not trying to brag about my love story. That's not the point. The point is I went from a journey, one heck of a journey from hell to hope, back to hell 1,000 more times, but back to hope. We are all a part of Hope Nation. Hashtag that, okay? We're all a part of Hope Nation. We all need to be here tomorrow and every day after that because we matter most. All of you do, all right? Thank you guys very, very much.
Thank you. Ken, you got some merch you want to give out, huh?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Throw out?
Okay, guys. So on my website, kevinhinesstory.com and suicidetheRippleEffect.com. If you want to know more about the film, it's suicidetheRippleEffect.com is a film that just came out. It's coming out across somewhere between 500 and 2,000 cities across the country. I keep getting updated every day, so I got updated like 10 minutes ago. This movie is going to be everywhere in Regal and AMC theaters. Okay. It's called Suicide the Ripple Effect, okay? SuicideTheRippleEffect.com. You can find out the trailer and all that stuff. But this is our merch. We have shirts that matter. You see this one? Does this matter? Yeah. Yes. We have lots of them, and you can get them at kevinhinesstory.com. The money goes to suicide prevention, all right? Because that's the way we roll. All right, now, I hate giving out merch because not everybody gets some, but I'm going to blindly throw them out to the crowd. Whoever gets some, gets some. And I'm really going to do this blindly, so bear with me. All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
Kids, play nice.
All right, don't hurt each other. If you want a shirt, well, you go to the website. Pain is inevitable. Pain is also temporary. Suffering is optional. I stopped suffering the day they diagnosed me with that autoimmune thing. I stopped suffering that. I used to always write about, my blogs about, oh, I suffer with mental illness, I suffer. No, I don't suffer. I live in spite of the pain. I live in spite of the pain, despite of the pain. Outside of the pain can't stop me. The asthma won't kill me. I mean, it could, but the asthma won't kill me. My broken back and metal plate and cage in my back won't stop me. The 23 staple scar that I had to pull the staples out myself, it was part of my healing after my surgery, after jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge, won't stop me. The chronic back pain won't stop me. Mental illness will never stop me. You know what will stop me? Natural death at the end of my appropriate lifespan, as I'm 112, lying next to my gorgeous wife, Margaret Hines, holding her hand, drifting off into the beautiful abyss, like in the film The Notebook. I never saw twice or cried during it. Twice. That's what will stop me, my natural end. And I keep hope alive, because no matter that I don't have it all the time, I look out into the tunnel vision of darkness and I say, that hope is there. It's always there. The light is at the end of the tunnel. I just haven't walked far enough to reach it. I always have hope. I always will. And I hope you do too.
All right. Guys, let's give it up for Kevin Hines.
Bradley Cooper. So I just love to share that. But NAMI is a National Alliance on Mental Illness, and we work to help people that live with mental illness. They don't suffer with mental illness. We live with mental illness.
We thrive with mental illness.
And we work every day to help them live better lives through education, advocacy, awareness, and making sure that people know they matter. And it's a pleasure to be here with all of you at Cast Tour and to get to hear you for the third time. Thanks.
The whole point of this and the whole point of Cast on Tour and all the work that Demi does and all the work that Mike Bear does is, do not be afraid to ask for help. There's nothing in this world wrong with asking for help, and do not be afraid to try to help another person. We had the kids from the Parkland, Florida shootings in San Diego. We flew some of those kids out, and they didn't really talk about gun control. They talked a lot about they wished that somebody had helped that young man, or they wished that he had had the strength inside to ask for help, because so many terrible things in this world can be prevented if you just ask for help, if you just communicate with people that you love or that, you know, you're close to. And again, like, incredible things can happen. Kevin would not have been here today had I not walked into that Starbucks and he had not been like, hey bro, dude, you look familiar. You know what I mean? That's just the way the world works sometimes. So please keep that in mind. Much love to all you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Enjoy the show tonight. Enjoy Demi's message. And thank you very much. All right? I was lucky. I kind of turned that corner probably like in 11th grade. I was about 5'1", and all the girls were like, "You're gonna be cute one day," and I was like, "What about now?" And they were like, "Nah, not so much." So I had to learn to kind of be cool with myself, and once that happened, like, incredible things happened for me, and my life really took off. So I'm glad that you got something out of it besides the skinny fat thing, which is true. All right, who else? Yep, I see one of our very familiar faces. You guys might recognize her too. Your name, Miss?
Casey.
Buddy. So stand up. And you smell good, by the way. What is that?
Hypnotic poison by Dior.
Hypnotic poison by Dior. All right. So tell me about your experiences, because you've attended quite a few of these. So what have they been like for you?
It's super interesting hearing so many different stories. Like, we heard John Taylor talk about creativity. We heard you speak. I heard Demi speak. Nick Jonas. So excited to hear Kevin Hines speak, because I know a little bit about his story. But I think every show you leave here with like a fresh mind, learning something new. And I have nothing but positive things to say about Cast on Tour, and I hope everybody can agree with me on that.
So put those phones away. We don't want to kick anyone out. Put them on silent as well, please. I forgot to do that in one city, and it was embarrassing. The Rocky ringtone kept going off. Cast is something that Mike Baer and Demi Lovato created. They partnered up. They own a center in West Los Angeles, California called Cast Centers. They wanted to create something really cool for people to go attend before Demi's tours. So they started Cast on Tour. We do it in every city. We've had amazing speakers, from Nick Jonas to DJ Khaled to myself. And it's been a really, really cool thing, and we've helped a lot of people. And our goal is just so that you guys, we want you to know that you're not the only ones that are going through some of the things that you're going through. We want you to know that everyone's gone through heartbreak. Everybody's dealt with, you know, problems with peer pressure, bullying, you know, maybe weight issues, alcohol issues, drug abuse, you know, with either themselves or their families. And we want you guys to know that you're not alone. Obviously, I talk about it all the time, and that's what's so incredible about Demi, is that she is a person that has made herself completely vulnerable to her fans, and that's why her fans love her as much as they do, because she's open and she's honest about all the stuff that happens to her. And she'll talk about some of that on stage tonight, but I think that's why a lot of people relate to her, and she kind of makes it cool to talk about, you know, what's going on in your life, what problems you might be having, and she makes people understand that it's not a bad thing to reach out for help. That's what this is all about, and we really hope that you guys get something out of it. Our speaker today is a really incredible gentleman. It's incredible how he got here today. I was actually on Broad and Pine. I went to a place to get a hot shave downtown. It's downtown, right, Nate? And I was on the phone with my cousin Nate, and I was talking to someone from the Philadelphia Eagles about possibly coming to speak, but he couldn't make his flight and couldn't get here in time. You can let them in. They look like they're about to cry. Let them in.
You just want to see the tears first?
No, no tears. Come on.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Yes, let's give it up for them showing up late. Good job, guys. Good job. I'm proud of you. So anyways, I'm on Broad and Pine, and I'm on the phone trying to talk to, it was actually Brian Westbrook that used to play for the Eagles. And Brian couldn't make his flight, so we're talking about it, and I'm like, okay, you know, no problem. And it was cold outside. I was waiting for my cousin to pick me up, so I went into a Starbucks right there on the corner. And I hung up the phone, and our speaker came up to me. He said, hey man, you look really familiar. Do I know you? And I said, maybe, like, I'm on TMZ with Jamie Foxx a lot. And he goes, what's your name? And I go, Dave Ossico. And he goes, oh wow, yeah. He goes, I do know you. And he's like, you work with Demi Lovato? And I said, yeah. And I said, we're actually in Philly. We got a show tomorrow night. And this was completely random. Like, this is the way that the world works in mysterious ways. I said, we got a show tomorrow night, and I work with her on this project called Cast on Tour. And he goes, I actually spoke at Cast on Tour about a year ago. And I said, no way. And he goes, yeah, my name's Kevin Hines. And I'm like, this is incredible, because I was sitting there, I just found out that Brian couldn't make his flight, and I was gonna scramble to find a speaker, and this guy just magically appears. He was definitely meant to be here for a reason, and I'm gonna introduce him right now. Let's give it up for Kevin Hines. Oh, I get it.
Hi. What's cracking? It is good to see all of you. You're beautiful people. Clap for yourselves and how beautiful you are. Yeah. You guys, I feel like, and a lot of you don't know me, so just bear with me. I feel like I have lived 1,000 lives in 36 years. And I'll tell you why. Because in these 1,000 lives in 36 years, I've lost 6 people that I love dearly to death by suicide from pain. People that meant the absolute world to me. They were my heroes, they were my mentors, they were my family, they were my friends. And they're gone forever, and I miss them terribly every day. But I do not revel in the death. I do not think about the way they died or the day they died. I don't blame myself or anybody around me. I don't have guilt. I used to have all of that stuff for 6 people that I love dearly, but I don't have it anymore. Today, it's okay, I'm not going to give you all 23 second hugs unless you want them. Hi, what's your name? Nice to meet you, Doctor. Of course you can. Oh, what's going on, girl? What's up? Are you okay? Are you gonna be here tomorrow? No, you're not gonna be here tomorrow? Yeah. I mean, every day you're gonna be alive every day? You promise? Have a hug? You got this, okay? Bye. Hi, hey! Thank you for your help today.
You're welcome.
You didn't stop, did you?
No, it's still going. It's still going.
Hi. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right, let me take Jan off. I get hot and cold, so hold on. All right, here we go. Where are we looking? Hi.
All right, I took 5. Okay.
All right. No problem. Take care. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Okay. Hi. What's your name?
I'm Bree.
What?
Bree.
Bree, what's going on?
I just want to say your story.
Thank you. Well, you're here. You're here right in front of me. You're here tomorrow, okay? Oh my God, Bree. Bree, I'm so sorry, but you're here now. I get to meet you. I get to look into your eyes. How epic is that? You take care of yourself, okay? You take care. Of course. Hi, Ashley. Nice to meet you. Thank you, Ashley. I like the glitter.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Right here? Mike, nice to meet you, brother. Take care. Here we go.
Alright, I took 3. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys. What do I do? Where do I go? Hi. What's your... Jessica, what's going on? Oh, okay, good. Yes, you do. Nice. What, you want to take a picture? Let's do it. What does your shirt say? What does your jacket say? That's cool. That's cool. All right. Let's do a selfie. Here, I'll go over here. You do it. Oh, that's so cool. Whoa. That's the one. I don't know how you did that natural stuff. Hi. It's undetermined. We're diagnosing right now, so I don't know. It's bad.
Because my brother has one, and they're trying to find out what he has also.
They're saying I might have chronic pain for the rest of my life.
Okay.
They're saying because of the medication issue I could. Anyway, it's fine. It's just fine. So no, don't be sorry. I'm right here. I'm right here with you. Don't be sorry at all. No pity needed. All right. I love what I do. All right. Nice to meet you. What was your name again?
Grace.
Grace and
Melissa.
Melissa. Nice to meet you. How are you today? It's good to see you. All right. Can I give you a hug? Come on. There we go. You take care of yourself, okay? All right. I will. I promise. I promise. Take care. Hi. Hey. You're welcome.
My mom's kind of still grieving in that, kind of thinks he's alive and it didn't happen. And, he's your father, why would he do such a thing?
You're here right now.
That's what matters.
I'm grateful that you're here.
I am too. I believe in God every day.
I'm sorry for everything that happened, but you got this. You got this on lockdown. You gotta lock it down. Lock it down.
That's because of my faith.
And reach out to me anytime, okay?
I will.
All right. Take care. Yeah. Shoot. All right. Bye now. Hey. Oh.
He's with me,
Oh, what's
so if
crying?
you want to come say hi.
Yeah. What's your name? Dave. Dave. Nice to meet you. Thank you, brother. All right. All right. Take care, man. All right.
Kayla. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I want to say thank you for sharing your story.
You bet.
I'm diagnosed a year ago with depression.
The whole deal. Holy cow.
I go through a lot on a daily basis, so it's nice to hear that today.
Yeah.
So, I don't
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Let's do it. Come on.
Let's make it a face.
No such thing. What they're talking
Take it
about.
all.
What are they talking about?
Thank
All right, take care.
you guys.
No problem.
Kevin,
I'm your mom.
I have to cut the line because I have to go down to my seat.
Get in here. Get in here.
But so great to I've heard about your
Come
story.
here. Here we go. Tell me.
I've heard your story,
Yeah.
but not like to the extent like you said.
Yeah.
And I lost my cousin to suicide. He shot himself. He was abused like his whole childhood. That whole thing. And like I struggle with mental illness myself. So like you saying like being here like now like yesterday was in the like in the past like
Be in the moment.
yeah, that's like super inspiring. And I feel like you like by you like sharing your story like publicly like will remove the stigma that's surrounding that.
100%. 100%.
So thank you. From me, like, a struggling girl and, everyone else who is struggling and like does not have the resources to like, get medication and go outpatient, inpatient, or like even just like speak up, like they don't have it like within themselves. Like from all of us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Reach out anytime, seriously.
Yes, thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Oh.
Megan. So I want to say thank you because I have a friend who died of suicide, and I have tried to commit suicide also, and I appreciate you sharing your experience.
No problem. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Hi.
Anna,
Nice to meet you.
I just wanted to say thank you for sharing your story. It was really moving.
You're welcome.
You're very strong.
I'm trying.
I'm Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
Is that okay if we get a picture? Hi, how are you?
What's your name?
Madison.
Madison. Hug time. It's hug time. What's going on?
Not too much.
There it is.
I'm awkward.
So, you're not awkward. Don't say that about yourself. You're wonderful.
Thank you.
I like the hair. It's really cool.
Thank you. Can we take a photo?
Come on, let's do it.
I got it. Thank you. I got it. Alright, I took 3. Thank you so much for speaking and everything. That was awesome. Thank you. Sorry, excuse me.
Hi. What's your name?
Taryn.
Hi, Taryn.
I actually just wanted to say something. So I actually just got out of a hospital for depression and suicide. And honestly, like hearing you speak was like hit me harder than like any of the therapy or any of like the stuff in there. So I just want to thank you. And I'm very glad
okay?
Yeah. I'm sorry. They were. She was like one of the girls. I'm sorry. The girl. She had said to me she had something going on, and then her mom wanted to talk to you.
Where?
Okay, I just texted you, and I'll go after. Make sure you're here after. Nothing. I'm her mom, so I just wanted to say hello.
Hi.
Thank you for your story.
You're welcome. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, they told me to come over here.
Oh, thank you. It's okay. I just got somebody jumped in front of me, but it's okay.
I apologize.
It's not your fault.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
you were very important to a lot of people. So it's okay.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah. But I wanted to say thank you
Yeah.
for your story and inspiration and girls like her and moms
Good.
like me.
Got it? Okay.
Watch yourself. Well, they snap you to something.
How are you? Yeah.
And a lot of you bless you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, and thank you for your story. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, you're tough. And then she just wanted a photo with you.
Oh,
So where do you live?
All right, serious fish.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi. You got a shirt? Good.
Yes, I did. Well,
Yes.
I was talking. I just, I'm in a psych class for my nursing program, and I was telling her how Nami actually just spoke yesterday.
Yeah.
So to like hear them talk and hear you talk and him talk, it was really inspirational. It kind of connected all together. So I really thought it was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Take care. Hi. What's your name? Courtney. Nice to meet you. Here we go. Hi. What's your name? Hi, Melissa. Nice to meet you. Hi. What's your name?
Brianne.
Hi, Brianne. And?
My wife, Renee.
Renee. Nice to meet you guys. Yeah.
That really, so much for like using everything you've been through to help other people like you, like us.
She's a tough girl. I'm not right now.
Who've been where you've been, you know, like I've been there, not on the bridge, but similar experiences, and
I deal with chronic suicidal ideation as well.
so I've literally picked her up off the floor on many occasions. So hearing you speak really,
We're gonna be here tomorrow,
really
right?
meant a lot.
We're gonna be here tomorrow. Promise? Promise. Every day after that. Promise. Come on, bring it in. You guys got it, okay? You got some lockdown, okay?
Can I take a picture of
Of course you
together?
can, yeah.
I don't care about me. I care about you.
See you.
Thank you very much.
Hi. What's your name? Hi, Kelly. What's going on?
I just wanted a hug and a picture.
Come on, hug and a picture. Let's go. Nice to meet you. Where do we go with the picture? Over here? Hi. What's your name?
Maddie, I watched your story on Facebook and I recognized you, and I was just there wearing them. I'm not even a year out from residency.
But you're alive. You're right here, right now. Right here. Hi. What's your name?
Tammy?
Tammy, nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for helping me. It really helps my friend.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, and I also live in this building, so I get what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Maddie.
Nice to meet you.
I appreciate everything you said.
You're welcome.
You did great. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
I will. Hi, man.
Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for doing this. I actually attempted suicide at 6 years old. So like,
peace, love, and peace. What's up to my Middle Eastern people in the building tonight? You can go up there for a second. I wanted to show love to. In this building, I know it's our next presidents, our next doctors, our next teachers, our next lawyers, our next superstars, our next DJ Khaled's, our next Demi Lovato's, and our next K-Lana! Make some noise! Is it okay if I put you on my IG story? Hands up. 2, 3. I love you. How about you?
Backstage live at the Demi Lovato, Khaled, and Kehlani concert. Hope helps heal. Be here tomorrow, okay? Be here tomorrow. Stay alive.
I knew you guys were Eagles fans as am I, so this is my boy Why Eagles fly?
Wait, where are my parents?
I saw them.
Nuts.
We all have a story. We all have a path that life leads us down. We all have to deal with the voices in our head.
I thought so. We're gonna. Pick up the temperature.
My name is Kevin Hines, native San Franciscan, 4th generation, and I come from humble beginnings. My birth parents were on drugs, and they had me, and I got taken away from them, and I got adopted by Pat and Debbie Hines, the two most beautiful people in the world. And I lived a great life after my traumatic infancy until at 17, it's like this Mack truck just smacked me in the face, and it's called depression and mental illness and bipolar disorder, and it hit me in the face, and I realized later on that both my biological parents had the same disease. They called it manic depression back then, called bipolar today. And that's what led me to struggle so bad for 2 years while pretending on the outside to be okay. So I was living with my father. I was lying to everybody. I was lying to my doctors. I was not in recovery. I was pretending to be. I was keeping it all in. I was silencing my pain, and I ended up at 19, 2 years after my diagnosis, going to the Golden Gate Bridge and doing what I did.
Tell me the day you decided to take your life. Can you take me through the thought process behind it?
Yeah. So people always ask me this, like, how did you decide to do that? I didn't decide anything. I was compelled to die by voices in my head on September 25th, 2000. Voices in my head that you can understand auditory hallucinations, voices that you don't recognize, anybody you've ever known telling you what you have to do. Telling you have to do this, it's inevitable, there's nothing you can do about it, this is the end, done. And those voices told me to go to the Golden Gate Bridge, they told me to jump off. And so I ended up getting on a bus after my dad begged me to be with him that day because he was worried about me. He saw my erratic behavior, but all he wanted me to do was be with him. I lied to my dad for 15 minutes just so I can go to the bridge to disappear forever. I get to the bridge off a bus, I walk and I find a particular light rail, I'm crying like a baby. Bikers, joggers, tourists, runners, police officers who generally search for suicidal people, they all went by me twice. One woman stopped. I hoped and prayed and wished she would say, "Kid, are you okay? Is something wrong or can I help you?" I made a pact with myself. It's called a suicide pact. People make them all over the world. If one person says or does this, I will. If one person says or does this, I won't die today. Mine was if one person says, "Are you okay? Is something wrong? Can I help you?" I tell them everything and beg them to save me. Lady comes up. Blonde hair, curly, giant sunglasses, pulls out a digital camera and says, "Will you take my picture?" I was defeated. She was smiling at me and I thought she was gonna save me. It's not her fault, I know that. And maybe she was trying to reach me and show me something beautiful. I didn't catch that. She walked away. The voice in my head said, "Nobody cares, jump now," and I did. 220 feet, 25 stories at 75 miles an hour in 4 seconds. I don't know if you know this, but when you hit that water from that height at that speed, it is like hitting a solid. The impact reverberates through your legs, into your lower back, and for me personally, it shattered my T12, L1, and L2 lower vertebrae to shards like glass. They splintered up my insides, cutting me up inside. I missed severing my spinal cord that day by 2 millimeters. I went down 70 feet in the water. I opened my eyes. I'm alive and I'm drowning, and I don't want to drown. I'm freaking out. I'm moving in every direction. I can't figure out which way is up or down. I've got one breath to swim 70 feet only using my arms. My legs are immobile. I swim as fast as my arms would take me. My right arm was wrenched, moving past here, copious physical pain. I break the surface, I bob up and down the water, and I take a breath. I try to scream, "Help me," but all that comes out, "Help, help." I can't scream. Can't do anything but try to stay afloat. And that's when a woman driving by in a red car who had seen me go over called her friend in the Coast Guard. A woman driving by in a red car called her friend in the Coast Guard. The reason the Coast Guard got to my body before I would set in hypothermia in those frigid waters and die was because that woman made that immediate phone call because she saw me go over the rim. In the water, as I failed to stay afloat, something began circling beneath me. You know what it was. Something circled beneath me. I was trying to stay above water. I kept going down. Every time I went down, I couldn't come up. It would take so much more longer to come back up. I couldn't breathe, asthma attack. I come back up, something circles faster and faster and faster. I thought it was a shark, and I thought, you gotta be kidding me. I didn't thought the Golden Gate Bridge and a shark is gonna eat me. This is baloney. But it wasn't a shark. I was on a television program called ABC's Primetime Live a year later, promoting a suicide prevention campaign. People wrote into this show from all over the world. One man's letter stuck out. His name was Morgan. He was from Vegas, and he said, "Kevin, I'm so very glad you're alive. I was standing less than 2 feet from you when you jumped. Until this day, watching this show, no one would ever tell me whether you lived or died. It's haunted me until right now. By the way, there was no shark like you mentioned on the show, but there was a sea lion, and the people above, looking down at you, believed you to be keeping your body afloat until the Coast Guard boat arrived behind you." So, sea lion leaves. Coast Guard arrives behind me, fish me onto a flat board, and asks questions. "Kid, do you know what you just did?" "Yeah." "Why?" And there it is, that elusive question we can never answer. Why does someone die by suicide? Why does someone attempt? You're not meant to answer the question. It's not an answerable question. Everybody is different. Everybody's brain is different. Everybody's wellness is different. Everybody's mental health is different. Cass Centers knows that more than most. Cass Centers and Demi Lovato and Mike Bayer and Davo and you guys are doing things like this right here. You have no idea how much this means to me. You don't understand. Like, I'm sick right now, and this is saving my life one day at a time, stuff like this. The accidental meeting of Dave, like, how does that happen? It's fate, it's meant to be, it's whatever you want it to be, but it's magical. And Demi Lovato's music is saving lives every day. It's saving lives every day just because it's so positive, it's so impactful, it's so moving, it's so well made. But Cass Centers and Mike Bayer are doing the same thing. The Cass Centers being able to help rehab people like me and save and change their lives is the future. That's the future of mental health, is groups like Cass Centers, who do it so well that they are talented in what they do and they're affecting great change. So this today means the world to me because I get to be a part of something that's beautiful.
You've been at the edges of death.
Yeah, many times.
What did you do with your mind that right now you're actually motivating hundreds of people?
You know Jojo who made the video you showed me? It's very similar. I was in a psych ward and someone taught me positive affirmations, right? They said if you use positive affirmations, you can retrain your brain's negative inner critical voice. If you can retrain your brain's negative inner critical voice, suicide can never kill you. That's what the nurse told me. And I said, it's bullshit. She said, no, listen, man. Look in the mirror every day and tell yourself 3 to 5 positive things about you and how valuable you are. I said, well, that's not gonna do anything. It's like, I'm sick every day. What is that gonna do for me? And she goes, could you just try it, please? And the mirrors in the psych ward were made of like aluminum, so you couldn't break them, so you couldn't cut yourself. And they were awful mirrors, so when you look in the mirror, you look like an oblong, weirdo, and I have hallucinations, so every time I'd wake up and look in the mirror, I have a panic attack because I thought my face actually looked like that. When I got cool from that, I would look in the mirror every psych ward day, and I would say, so I'd wake up with, Kevin, you're a good guy. Kevin, you're wonderful. Kevin, you're a good human being. Kevin, I love you. You got this. Something along those lines, right? It changed every day. But it was like, Kevin, you're the best. Kevin, you're wonderful. Did it for 365 days. I counted. At the 365th day, I didn't need to do it anymore. I knew it in my gut that I love myself. I knew that no matter that I'd still have self-hatred, no matter that I'd still self-loathe after that 365 days, I still knew, even though I hated myself, that I loved myself. I hate myself for a lot of reasons. Like, I was abandoned as a kid. I have severe abandonment issues and detachment disorders that make me feel like whoever comes in front of my life is just gonna someday leave. And that's okay. That's what I gotta deal with. I'm alive to deal with it, and that's the best part. I know not everybody shares my opinion, and I know it's an opinion. I believe it was a gift from God that I got to survive. In the water, upon resurfacing, I prayed, God, please save me. I don't want to die. I made a mistake on repeat. And the sea lion came. That's my miracle, man. You don't have to agree with me or believe me, but that's my miracle. That's how I feel. I've had faith my entire life, since I can remember. Not everybody does, and that's fine. I'm not pushing that on anybody. That's everybody's business. I believe in God, and I believe He saved my life. And if He didn't, that sea lion didn't. If that sea lion didn't, my birth mom and dad, who were dead by that time, they carried me down gently into the water. And then when I was 70 feet beneath that water, my birth mom and dad grabbed me and they said, Kevin, swim like a you know what I mean? Just swim your life off, man. You can't die here, Kevin. If you die here, no one will ever know you didn't want to. No one will ever know you knew you made a mistake. That's why I got to live. Because if I didn't get to live, these hundreds and hundreds of thousands of kids that write to me and say my story saved their life, where would they be right now? That's not egotistical, that's a fact. Where would they be? If I died of suicide tomorrow, there would be major repercussions for people who believe that they can stay here because I stay here. They write me that every day. I'll never die by my own hands as long as I should live. I got my second chance at life, and I think that's all you really get. I got my second chance. I'm never squandering that.
You mentioned positive affirmation, and I'm curious to kind of hear your thought, because I'm a believer. I believe in the Bible, and being with Cass, for me, in my mind, I kind of almost have a different sense of like how the spiritual world works. And the Bible says that death and life are in the power of our tongue.
That's right. Our
So
voice.
how powerful it is to always speak positivity. Can you talk a little bit more about specifically that positive affirmation and how it affects the mind?
Yeah. So scientifically, when you say good things about yourself repeatedly, it reverses and removes the negative things anyone has ever said about you for your entire life. Meaning that when you are abused as a kid and only given things that are negative, when you're beaten as a kid, or you're sexually molested as a kid, or you're told that you're an idiot as a baby, or you're told you're stupid or dumb, or you're told that you're worthless or have no value by your parents, because that happens, by your family, by your friends, by your peers, because it happens. Any negative thing anyone has ever said to us, we backbrain it. It stays in our subconscious. Every negative thing anyone has ever said to you, backbrains. Literally, scientifically. And it stores itself somewhere. And if whatever happened to you with that saying was traumatic, it stores it somewhere. But when you use positive affirmations that say you are lovely, you are wonderful, you are valuable, you are worthy, you have power, you have a good voice, your voice matters, you are important, you're loved. I love you, Kevin. That then takes all of those negative inner critical thoughts and almost deletes them. They're still there. It removes their ability to hurt you. Positive thinking and positive affirmations should be what we all need to utilize to rule the world. Why do you think Bhutan is so successful with their gross national happiness? You know Bhutan? Bhutan is a country whose national sport is archery. They're the champions of archery all over the world. But Bhutan and the Bhutanese, they are minimalists. They wear ponchos and they barter and trade. Bhutan has created gross national happiness, where they measure their country's happiness, and that's the most important thing they can do, is make sure that every individual who lives in Bhutan is happy. The whole world is searching around how to be happy, but they don't even know how. All they need to go is go read some stuff about Bhutan. I took that motto that Bhutan and the Bhutanese created, and their king that founded it. I took that motto, and I was like, okay, if I want to be happy, how do I be happy? My doctors said positive affirmations. The Bhutanese came to that conclusion without science. They just did it. Put the two together, ain't nothing can stop me from being happy and smiling all the time, no matter how much fucking pain I'm in. Like right now. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
That's the way I roll, man.
Okay.
And I think it's crucial that Debbie and Mike made this beautiful thing happen. It's important because when you show hundreds of people in those chairs, every concert, that they are valued and they matter, and you do it by taking a celebrity and taking the model of recovery or the models of recovery, you're opening people's minds, and these are usually kids. Their brains haven't fully developed. But Cast on Tours and the Cast Centers and Mike and Demi show these kids that no matter the pain they're in, they got this, and that we got them. That you're now forever a part of the family of Cast on Tours. And you can reach out anytime, and we may not reach back directly, but we'll make sure that you know somehow that we love you. And I think that that's what they do best. I think that Cast on Tours allows individuals in those chairs who are in a great deal of pain. Did you see all the kids who were crying today? They weren't crying in sadness. They were crying tears of happiness because of Cast on Tours. That's why it's important. Because showing people that they matter and showing people that you love them when they don't think anybody does saves lives.
Perfect. That's it.
There it is.
There it is.
All right.
I appreciate it, Kevin.
And like I said, dude, I'm not releasing any of this footage until you guys say it's okay.
Yeah.
Hi guys. So I was just told that when people come and see that picture of the great Neil Young, they think it's Meatloaf. Like Meatloaf the what? Doesn't that look like Neil Young? That's Neil Young. It's not Meatloaf. Get it right or don't get it at all. Jeez. Stay alive. Because you matter and you're important and you're valuable, and that's not Meatloaf. That is Neil Young. Good night.